Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jeranism back with another video for you today. Now, I've said a lot of things about a lot of people. Sometimes I say it in frustration, and sometimes it's deserved. Well, this is one case that is absolutely deserved. For those of you watching, please watch carefully so that you can see the absolute blatant lies being told by people who claim to be all about evidence, because this video should show you the level of dirtball that these so-called honest and accurate clowns will go to so that you believe and trust in them. If you stay with me and follow along, it should literally scare you how pathetic Shawn Hufford and Sparkane are. Shawn Hufford has easily moved into the #1 spot as the single most pathetic, no good liar I've ever known. That's why I have titled this Sparkane and Shawn Stuffblurred. Now, these two clowns think that I don't say their names because I don't want people to go to their channels. That is laughable. I tell people to go to NASA. I tell people to go to SpaceX videos. I tell them to watch Red's Rhetoric. I don't care who you watch, because when you do watch them, you should see exactly what they're about. So the links are in the description for Sparkane. I will not call him that. To me, he is Sparkane. The other is Shawn Hufford. Link also below. To me, he is Shawn Stuffblurred, because everything out of his mouth is a complete and total lie. He can't refute the things I say, and so he must blur every bit of what I say or do. And now, here comes the examples of that, so that you can walk away and #1, see that Sparkane and Shawn Stuffblurred are liars. #2, you can see that the people that watch them and back them are fans and friends of liars, and that they don't want to watch people who honestly deal with me or the Globebusters, but they want to watch liars. And 3, that even after I have shown the levels of dishonesty clearly, that nothing will change. So this will be the last time I mention either Sparkane or Shawn Stuffblurred, because I refuse to deal with blatant deceivers and blatant dishonest clowns who will go to any length to discredit myself and others who have simply called into question their religion of heliocentricity.
But if you want to keep on hiding behind the fact that I'm just a dishonest liar without any substance to that particular claim, well, that's fine. Okay, I don't hate you for it. Okay, if I was being called out on bullshit with actual factual proof, I probably wouldn't want to talk to the person calling me out anyway.
So, Sparkane is asking for substance to my claim that he is a liar. So that's what I will provide.
At least prove that I've been dishonest somewhere, which is also your claim. You can sit here and say all you want about you can call me a liar, but you'll never prove it.
So according to Sparkane, I will never prove that he's a liar. Remember that. So my task is quite easy: to back up my claim that Sparkane and Shawn Stuffblurred are dishonest, and to back that up. I want to talk real quick about the burden of proof. I cannot prove a negative. So if someone says, Jaron said that this person is 10 foot tall, for me to prove that I did not say that is impossible. I would have to show you everything I've ever said. So the person making the claim that I've stated that someone is 10 foot tall is responsible for providing proof. So remember that as we go through, when they state Jaron said this or Jaron means this, that I cannot disprove that, but they have forgotten to provide evidence, and therefore it's a lie until that evidence is provided.
I had shown a very simple way, and first of all, Jaron thinks that timeanddate.com is SunCalc. What do you call it? Because he said that.
So just an early example of someone stating that I think timeanddate.com is SunCalc because I said that. So where's the evidence that I said that timeanddate.com is SunCalc? Now here's a very big example of somebody making a claim, and notice it's not said, I heard that, or rumor has it that. It is stated as an absolute fact and there is absolutely zero evidence to back it up. And listen to the level of deceit behind this statement by Shawn Stuffblurt.
Well, were you aware that Globebusters did a ring laser gyro test for $25,000?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, they actually got crowdfunded a ring laser gyro.
Okay.
$25,000 from subscribers that they paid money to have them get this piece of equipment. And it actually showed a 15 degree per hour rotation of the Earth. And now then they went back to the aether. It's just the aether moving around the Earth.
Really? I honestly I didn't catch that, but I'm gonna
$25,000 they scammed out of their subscribers just to prove that the Earth is indeed rotating.
Kind of looking like BOB satellite, isn't it?
And you know what they're going to do with that ring laser gyro, don't you? They're going to eBay it off, make a profit.
Or maybe just return to sender and get all the money back.
That is true.
I mean, it's not like it's software.
Yeah.
You know?
So all of you people who follow these people and give them money freely, congratulations. You just made them $25,000 richer. And they're going to split it 3 ways.
3 ways. So ring laser gyro, 25 G's from their subscribers, and they probably just sold it back.
Probably.
Stupid people, man.
So we just got accused of taking $25,000 from subscribers through a crowdfunding campaign, spending it on a ring laser gyro, proving that the Earth actually spun, and then we are going to sell back the gyro to eBay to pocket the money and split the $25,000 3 ways. Did you notice they forgot to provide any evidence? And did you notice that even Sparkane said, no, I did not hear that? Well, it's because it is completely made up. It never happened. Bob on Globebusters a few weeks back spoke about somebody who had bought a $25,000 gyro and then discussed the results. But we never crowdfunded it, nor do we have it in our possession to sell it and make money off of it. So talk about a blatant lie, and these guys are allowed to tell it. They're allowed to libel and slander other people with completely false statements and backing it up with zero evidence. Also notice that Sparkane has not ended this conversation with saying, well, I'll look into that, and if it is true, then these people who have donated this money are stupid people. He has bought into it because Shawn Hufford said so, without any requirement of proof or evidence. He even goes as far as repeating it for added measure, now himself claiming it to be true.
So ring laser gyro, 25 G's from their subscribers, and they probably just sold it back.
Probably.
And make note that Shawn Stuffblurt did not say, I heard it through the grapevine, or rumor has it. He claimed it as a fact. So before we continue and attempt to establish a pattern here, I want to talk about that feeling of being wrongfully accused. I'm sure you've all had it happen to you, and it is the worst possible feeling. But I have to ask, have you ever been not just accused, but had someone state as a fact that you stole $25,000 from people and had 2,250 people so far hear it and believe it? Does Shawn have no shame at all? So, Sparkane did a video a while back called Measuring the Distance to the Sun, and I had made a joke about it since he considered it easy, and I'll show you why it's not easy at all, and why he comes up with the wrong answer and still proclaims this to be some sort of proof of evidence of something. And then he said it's easy again when he repeated it recently. Let's listen to what he said.
What do you call it? I've shown a simple way, and it's just, it's not very difficult. It's researching, just grabbing the numbers, adding them together, and then one of them you divide by 2. Okay. And he said, that's not very simple and all this other stuff. Really, Jaron? Really? I mean, is math that mean to you?
All right, so Sparkane says it is easy again. It's simple. It's just grabbing some numbers, adding them together, and dividing by 2. Let's see what it actually entails. So you want to measure the distance to the sun. Well, here is an easy way to get the rough distance to the sun. So easy Dr. Zach could do it. The reason it's going to be rough is because the online sources are quite general, not meant to give exact estimates. So step 1, you need to pick 2 locations, one north of the Tropic of Cancer, the other south of the Tropic of Capricorn. Then you take these 2 locations onto step 2. You need the latitude of the location. Step 3, you then need the sun's elevation angle and its zenith for that day. Now add the two together. Then you're going to go to step 5. Now do it for the second location for the same day. Step 6, you need to add those two sums together. You'll get a result between 1 and 180. Step 7, divide that result by 2. Step 8, now add the two latitudes. The sum will never be larger than 180. This is the data needed. We have the elevation angle. We have the radial angle. We now go to the fun part. We take step number 9. We draw a circle of the Earth and identify its center. We then draw a line across the center. We then draw a line to the radial angle you calculated. You then draw a line between the 2 points where the lines meet at the edge of the circle. You now measure that line. This will be your baseline. We go to step 14, and we take that baseline that we just measured. On each end of that line, draw a line to the elevation angle you calculated. Now measure the distance from the baseline to the intersection of the two elevation lines. This will give you a rough estimate to the distance, and the distance he came to was 1,080,000 kilometers. The going fact in the world of science and wonder is 149.6 million kilometers. So in his easy method of calculating the distance to the sun, he was off by 148.51 million kilometers. So if we think that way, and he said 0.02 degrees on each side will yield a 3 million kilometer difference, well, then I foresee a problem. Because at 89.7, we know it's 1 million kilometers. At 89.72, it would be 4 million. At 89.74, 7 million. We'll go over a little bit to 89.8, 16 million. 89.86, 25 million. 89.90, 31 million. And some of you may be seeing the problem. At 89.96 degrees, 40 million. 89.98 degrees, 43 million. And at 90 degrees, 46 million. So based on your easy mathematics to figure out the distance to the sun, the most you could come up with is a distance of 46 million kilometers, still short by over 100 million kilometers. And if you really think about it, if we happen to be off just 0.02 degrees in the other direction, so instead of 89.7, it happens to be 89.68, well, then we've got a problem for the distance to the sun, as I come up with negative 1.9 million kilometers. So anyway, he shows us some supplemental information here, showing the angle from Moscow and I guess Troll Station, and then gives us the summary that using simple geometry, it's quite easy to measure the distance to the sun. Yet again, the generalized information by online sources can yield varying results, and their information is not intended for the exact level per exact measurement. But it does show that the sun is an incredible distance from the Earth. Any questions? Yeah, I've got several.
All the math worked out just fine. And in this particular example, okay, with the rough, only one number behind the decimal point angles, okay, I was able to get the sun at over 1 million miles or 1 million kilometers away. Now, something else that I had pointed out in here as well. Where did I put it in here? Yeah. What you need to know, though, is just a 0.02 degree difference on this, because I tried to find out if I can get a round number on that. A 0.02 degree difference in these things would have meant a difference of 3 million kilometers further away. Okay. But now all these, SunCalc does go a little bit deeper, but I was using timeanddate.com because at that time I wasn't using SunCalc because the interface used to be bad. And at the time that I made this video. And so I was using single decimals, and so therefore obviously my distance was a lot closer than 93, of course. But yeah, it's just it's crazy easy how easy this stuff is.
Oh, is it crazy easy? How easy this stuff is? It's crazy easy.
Doing mathematics like this to get the distance of the sun, you first have to know what shape the Earth is. Okay. This is the classes after you get past flat Earth. Okay. Once you realize that the Earth is round, and all the measurements and everything else that concurs with every observation, with every measurement, with every test. Okay. Once you realize that, then you can start judging the actual distance to the sun. Okay? But if you don't know what the hell you're standing on, then you ain't going to know anything. Okay? You're just really not. Okay? So this works, and you know it. As far as all this goes, Darren, I really don't care what you say. Okay? You don't see me being offended. Okay? You don't see me call, I can call you a liar. Okay? Because you make claims that you refuse to substantiate. Absolutely refuse to substantiate. Okay? I think there was even one time where you said that you had a balloon and it got shot down and all this because somebody didn't want you to know the truth. Dude, come on, man. What you did was you actually had a balloon, or you set something up with a bunch of expensive hardware and then probably just pocketed the hardware like you do with all the rest of your donations. Okay.
So, Sparkane just said he can call me a liar because I never substantiate my claims. Then his example of that was a complete and total lie. Where is your evidence that I ever said our balloon got shot down because somebody didn't want me finding the truth? Can you find me that for me? I'd appreciate it. Plus, we have video evidence of Bob releasing the balloon. The fact that it never came down doesn't mean somebody shot it down. We never claimed anything happened to it. It's still lost. So to claim that I then pocketed the money from the hardware or whatever you said is another Sparkane lie.
Okay. Claims like yours, claims like Globebusters, claims like ODD, claims like Morgile and Captain Obvious and all these other idiots. Okay. Yes, I said idiots. The reason why I'm saying idiots is because anybody who believes something without proof, in my mind, is an idiot. Okay, and I don't mean idiot as an insult. I mean idiot as the adjective. Okay. It is a descriptive word to show somebody who just does not get it.
Okay, I got you. So earlier you believed Shawn Hufford. He told you that I stole $25,000 or some BS. We did a crowd-funded experiment. You remember the story. And tell me again, how do you describe an idiot?
The reason why I'm saying idiots is because anybody who believes something without proof, in my mind, is an idiot.
Okay, then for now I agree with you. Shawn Stuff Blurred is a liar. You, sir, are an idiot. And you can't disagree.
Really? I honestly I didn't catch that, but I'm gonna
$25,000 they scammed out of their subscribers just to prove that the Earth is indeed rotating. Congratulations, you just made them $25,000 richer, and they're going to split it 3 ways.
3 ways. So Ring Laser Gyro 25 G's from their subscribers, and they probably just sold it back.
Probably.
Stupid people, man.
So I wonder who is more stupid, the non-existent subscribers that crowdsourced $25,000 or the idiot that believes a liar?
Jeranism's little rant that he did on his channel, or on his other channel, his other channel, about how I'm not going to say that he said that I'm full of shit, but that's basically the moral of his entire story. And but he doesn't back it up with anything. But
see, you're not going to say what I said. You're not going to say that I said that, but that is the moral of the story that I didn't back up. The moral that you deduced from something I didn't say.
Obviously, Jeranism is on the whole. The sun is refraction through a lens, which is the atmosphere, which is somehow.
Yeah. I've actually.
I really just don't even know where to go with that, because if you're going to say that the sun is refracting the light, as a lens, meaning offsetting it, which I do admit, the sun does have, or the atmosphere does have refractive properties, but you are standing in the atmosphere.
I mean, these guys are geniuses. First of all, they laugh and joke that it's so funny that I say that the atmosphere acts as a lens. Then they say they do agree. And then they claim I said the sun is refracting the light as a lens. I never said that. I said that the atmosphere is. Then he corrects himself and says he agrees with me but says, but the atmosphere, you're in the atmosphere. So I'd like him to tell me, when has he measured the refraction of the atmosphere from outside of the atmosphere? Since he agreed that the atmosphere causes refractive properties, but then claimed that it's a joke because we're in the atmosphere, then please tell me how you measured it from outside the atmosphere.
So that it just totally destroys the top of the dome is over the North Pole claim.
Again, please provide evidence. When have I ever stated that the top of the dome is above the North Pole? When have I ever claimed that there was a dome? The atmosphere itself acts as a dome, and I never said that the top of the dome is at the North Pole. In fact, I believe that the highest point would be above the equator, with the lowest points being at the North Pole and South Pole. And just because you can't figure out how that works doesn't mean it's not true.
And what do you call it? I mean, I try and keep things at a somewhat civil level. Yes, I did go off on you one time, and that was because of the fact you decided to put me. You stated that I worship and adore pedophiles.
What it's going to come down to is how many false statements can this guy make in one video? I never said that you worship and adore pedophiles. Let's listen to exactly what I said. These three are not skeptics at all. At all. They are not even thinkers. They are indoctrinated, brainwashed, in love with their religion. They're incapable of using their brain. They traded their brain long ago for a parrot brain so they can repeat. And if you continue to follow them, then you can expect further enslavement by an elite group of pedophiles, Satanists, inbred, Zionist, usury-pushing, baby-eating demons. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. Sadly, I still stand behind those statements. But let me explain it to you since you can't seem to follow along. You worship science. You worship scientists like you worship Neil deGrasse. You worship mathematics. You believe what is written in books, and you believe it so much you're willing to call it fact. You just repeat it and force it to match your evidence, like you just did with the math that you calculated the distance of the sun. You came up 148 million kilometers off, then in the very next sentence called that math easy and claimed the distance of the sun as a fact. Wake up. If people of the world simply allow you to continue doing so, if people believe you and watch you and listen to the words that come out of your mouth, then the entire human race, including our children, can expect further enslavement by an elite group of men. Note, these next men that I'm about to name are not people you worship because they hide out. This elite group of men is who I'm talking about, who is enslaving the world. Okay? Today we live in a neo-feudalist system in which the super rich pull all the strings. I'm talking about those with so much money it is hard to comprehend. Not just people with $1 million, not Neil deGrasse. I'm talking about people with more money than all of us can even imagine. It's so much money that they could buy all the goods and services that are produced in this country in the course of an entire year and still be able to pay off the entire debt. It is unbelievable how rich these people are. And under this system, the rest of us are debt slaves. And when I say the rest of us, that includes your government. Just look around. Everyone is drowning in debt. And all that debt does is make those with the money I just described, the ultra wealthy, even wealthier. And they don't just sit on that money and just sit there like, we're going to save this. No, they use that money in order to conduct the affairs of nations. The ultra wealthy own every bank and every corporation on earth. And they use secret societies, their think tanks, and charitable organizations to advance their agenda and to keep everyone in line. They control how you view the world through their ownership of the media and their dominance over our education system in which you are indoctrinated. They fund the campaigns of every single politician, and they have influence over every single international organization such as the UN, the IMF, the Trilateral Commission, the World Bank, the WTO. I could go on for days and days. I know that you don't know this because you believe what the media tells you. So I'm sorry that you can't grasp what I'm saying, but I never said that you worship baby-eating demons or pedophiles. Wake up.
And I'm sorry, I got kids. That word actually means something to me. But when you say to me that I worship and adore baby-eating demons, well, since baby-eating demons don't exactly exist, I can laugh that off. You understand what I'm saying? So
Laugh it off all you want. Perhaps this is part of the problem. I mean, when I say baby-eating demons, if you think that I'm talking about like a demon running around with a pitchfork and horns, you're like a child to me. You have so much to research, and you need to do it starting now. I mean, have you looked into the Federal Reserve? Let me just read one quote by Congressman Louis McFadden that he delivered at the House of Representatives June 10th, 1932. Quoting exactly, "Mr. Chairman, we have in this country one of the most corrupt institutions the world has ever known. I refer to the Federal Reserve Board and the Federal Reserve Banks. The Federal Reserve Board, a government board, has cheated the government of the United States and the people of the United States out of enough money to pay the national debt. The depredations and iniquities of the Federal Reserve Board has cost this country enough money to pay off the national debt several times over. This evil institution has impoverished and ruined the people of the United States, has bankrupted itself, and has practically bankrupted our government. It has done this through the defects of the law under which it operates, through the maladministration of the law by the Federal Reserve Board, and through the corrupt practices of the moneyed vultures who control it." Do some research, and I bet you start to believe in baby-eating demons. Shortly after that, you'll see how the globe that you worship and adore has been used as a tool like everything else to indoctrinate you and trap you to make you think that you're smart. And, well, the reality is a little different.
But anyway, first thing that he wanted to show, and he's also talking about Dr. Zach, and well, he didn't talk about Dr. Zach, but he's using the reference of the refraction experiment that Dr. Zach poorly executed.
Oh joy, another lie by Sparkane. Never mentioned Dr. Zach, never referred to his experiment. Try again.
If there is a lens in the sky, okay, you have to say where that lens is.
Oh, I know this one. Me. In the sky.
And here's the joke. The Eratosthenes experiment that we just did with the 23 participants, which everybody hates and Globebusters is afraid to do.
This is going to get real old real quick. Have you noticed a trend here? You continue to tell lies. We are not afraid of doing any Eratosthenes experiment. We know the outcome of the experiment. If we do the observations and then put them into globe math, guess what? We're going to come back with the globe answer. Just like you said earlier, if you don't know the shape of the Earth, then you can't do the math involved. Well, if we were going to go into that math with the assumption, like Eratosthenes did, that the ball Earth is a ball, then we are doing exactly what we're saying you are doing, which is just repeating things. It's called wasting time. Your experiment was a waste of time. It's already been done. Globebusters is not afraid of doing your experiment. We don't want to waste people's time. It's already been done. Somebody who's at 90 degrees, who sees the sun at a 90-degree angle, so it's down at the horizon, and then somebody else who's at 45 degrees and sees the sun at a 45-degree angle, doesn't mean those two people live on a ball if the observation of the sun is due to perspective. You've moved too far away from the sun to any longer see it. Doesn't mean you're at the top of a ball and that the sun is around the equator of the ball. You think that. We know that it's possible for smart men, knowing the true shape of the Earth, that they could easily adjust things in a way that makes you think that your experiment proves we live on a ball. You might now see the difference between you and I.
Jaron wanted to say that I was trying to show that it's that I said it's impossible on a flat Earth. No. You see, the purpose in doing research and actually putting these numbers to paper, actually putting these angles to paper, actually showing what the results are, it doesn't, I'm not trying to, how can I say this? I'm not there to disprove flat Earth just to disprove flat Earth.
The name of your video was Flat Earth Debunked.
Okay, I am there to display that it does not conclude a flat Earth. Okay, all of those angles. Now, mind you, I cut straight to the chase and went straight to globe after that. Of course I did. Okay, because that's the beginning and the end. Okay, but showing it on the flat plane, which you recreated, okay, showing it on a flat plane directly shows that it does not function in any way, shape, or form on a flat plane. It just doesn't.
Under your beliefs and your rules of how the universe work, then you're absolutely correct. It doesn't work. But we know that the sun is not displayed for each person on Earth where it actually is. The atmosphere works as a lens and displaces the actual location of the sun. Wake up!
That's what you do with research, is you do experimentation, honest experimentation, mind you. You do experimentation, and then you go where the conclusions, where the facts take you. Okay, you don't go there trying to prove that the Earth is flat. I don't go to try and prove that the Earth is round. Okay, I go out and do the experiments and see what they concur with.
You have been indoctrinated to believe that things are facts, but they are not. Mathematics has been constructed around these ideas, and we have realized, as many others have, that simply because your math works does not mean something is true. Now, you will call me liar because you have been taught that math is reality. Much like I took the math involved in the circle and pulled out 0.318 because it is a reciprocal, and Shawn Stuffblurred immediately thought that I must think that pi is 0.318 because he never realized, because it was never taught to him, that 0.318 is to the circumference no different than 3.14159 is to the diameter. And I won't confuse you right now and go down that road simply because you're not ready yet to see the actual implications that one can deduce from the fact that 0.318 is an inherent quality to a circle of one circumference. The difference is that we know what you're doing. We were taught just like you. You don't know what we're doing because we're working outside of indoctrination.
I got to stop you there because his experiment that he's working on doing that he still hasn't produced any results for.
The experiment that I'm working on doing that I haven't produced any results for? Should I produce results before I've done the experiment? Wow.
On his road.
Yeah.
Now he's changed the experiment up because he wants to reach his conclusion, but he has to figure out a way to make it work. You know, he started off saying that he's going to get 7 poles, put them inside of pails, and stick them straight up, and then drill a hole where a laser beam shines from the point of origin to the final target.
Right.
And he would measure where that hole is on all the poles. He started with 7 poles. He dropped it down to 3, which is actually the bare minimum you can actually do this experiment with and actually get accurate results.
Yeah, because
and then he's finally dropped it down to just a pole at the starting point and a pole at the ending point, removing the center measurement entirely.
Oh, boy. Another flat-out, blatant lie by Shawn Stuffblurred. Shawn, back up your claim. Show people where I have ever said I would remove the second pole. Show me. Show us. Show us you're not a lying, dirty scumbag. Because you can't. Because you're a lying, dirty scumbag. You put false things in people's heads, things I never said. How would you do an experiment like I'm doing with 2 poles? It would make it impossible. It would make it crap. But yet, you saying that, I'm sure, here comes Lie Sparkane. I'm sure he'll believe you. Because that's the problem. And Lie Sparkane, if you wonder why I won't associate with you at all, it's because you allow this guy on your show to speak about me. Dirty, disgusting liar.
And he's going to measure it with a tape measure or something like that.
Well, what the fuck is that going to prove?
Line of sight.
Yeah,
that's it.
Which debunks perspective, but that's it.
But this is the level of honest research you're expecting jeranism to do.
So you build a straw man, you laugh at it, you knock it down, and then associate it with me by saying, so this is the kind of intelligent and honest research you expect jeranism to do. You made it up.
That's stupid.
You hear that, Shawn? That's stupid.
You
No,
see,
it's
when I
having
saw,
his conclusion and trying to work backwards to make it work.
right. In other words, you're experimenting to prove instead of experimenting to result.
Right.
And bitch,
What was that lie, Sparkane? What'd you say?
bitch. The reason why I'm saying idiots is because anybody who believes something without proof, in my mind, is an idiot.
I'm glad we're all in agreement. Both you clowns are idiots.
Anyway, what do you call it? I saw parts of the parts of the whole preview experiment and stuff like that, and where he had the buckets with the sticks in them and stuff like that. And I was like, well, where's he going to put those buckets? Because you first have to prove that the ground that it's sitting on is perfectly flat.
Well,
You know,
we're going to
before you
grant
do
him.
any measurement.
We're going to grant him the fact that he's going to use a theodolite. Whether or not he's going to have somebody that actually knows how to operate it or not is a different story. But
Yeah,
he's
but
going to get it.
But even with a theodolite is what that's kind of where I'm going with this. You have to put the buckets on the ground, right?
Right, but the theodolite does determine where level is, and you can just adjust accordingly.
Right, and in that adjustment, you can make any result you want.
True.
Because it's not because we're judging not the height of poles, we're judging the surface of the earth. So therefore, the measurement would have to be made from whatever measuring point on the stick to the ground. And if it's that area that he showed in the thumbnail, at least, you know, that next to whatever canal or road or whatever it is, yeah, that. What are you going to do? Measure the fact that, you know, a dirt road is uneven? Oh, yay. You know, I mean, there's no, you can't get results from, even I wouldn't do that to prove me right.
Well, a surveyor did offer their services to actually go out and set everything up for him, but Jaron basically ignored it.
I ignored it. I've asked 3 or 4 times on 3 or 4 different shows for a surveyor to contact me if he'd like to join us. So to claim that I ignored it is just simply another lie. Are you guys starting to see a trend here? Hufford should be removed from YouTube. Nobody can possibly tell this many accidental lies. He's a scumbag.
Well, I just, I don't see a way that you could actually get that to produce either result accurately. Because of the fact that, like I said, if the buckets are sitting on ground, then it's not going. I mean, like I said, I don't know all of the details.
You might not want to comment on the experiment until you do.
But you know, if the buckets are going to be placed along this road, then first you have to say that the road is measurably perfectly flat. You know,
Yeah.
and what do you call it? And I don't know how you're going to get that. And if you do get it to be perfectly flat, okay, then you have to show that that is actually a fair representation of the surface of the earth. You know, I mean, uphill, downhill, crossways, bumps, who cares? You know, it seems to me that, see, I had originally thought, before I saw those pictures of those buckets, I had originally thought that he had found himself a long canal. Okay, now a measurement from water level, that would be something else. You know, that next to whatever canal or road or whatever it is, you know, that next to whatever canal or road or whatever it is.
Well, what do you know? Look who woke up. If you had watched the video, then you would easily know that the whole point of the experiment is the fact that we're doing it next to a 3.88 mile long straight canal. That's the whole point. So if you would have known that, you would have saved yourself the last 10 minutes of looking foolish. I actually went there the other day, as you can see here. And we, of course, are going to be measuring the distance from the surface of the water to the exact point where the buckets will start. And, of course, we will have 3. Having 2 would completely negate the entire experiment. And it's a little hard to see from here, but you can notice as I zoom in way at the end there is a electrical tower, and that is the end of the road at 3.88 miles.
A measurement from water level with an accurate way to perform that measurement. That's something else.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
but-
Anthony Riley has very much said that any measurements over water is unusable because of things like electrolysis.
Not sure if that's supposed to be a joke or whatever, but we're not doing it over the water. That's the whole point of the experiment, is doing it next to the water, using the water as your baseline, but not being affected by the atmospheric effects that take place above the water.
So sorry, Jaron, very bad. And he was trying to say, look, he was going through, and he was saying that he superimposed my thing on there, and he said that it had lined up perfectly, which it didn't. See, he raises the atmosphere to almost the 5,000 K level,
Right.
and then at one point he actually lowered it, and no, it doesn't line up with all of them.
Oh, so I said it lined up perfectly, huh? Well, let's see how honest you were there, old Sparkane, with the lines that he has showing this is the line that they see. Move it over here. Oh, look at that. These people all saw the sun in the wrong spot here when it's supposed to be up here. Well, that's because of the refractive index of the sky. And we may not have it perfect. I'm not saying I know exactly the height that this should be at, because by moving it all the way down here, for instance, we're going to get more refractive index. You're going to get a different movement.
Now, jeranism has one. That's Jeranism Raw. That's Jeranism's channel. That's Jeranism's Globe Busters. Yes, it's Jeranism's because everybody has an email address at Jeranism. Okay, and then here is his repository. Okay, where he puts some of his videos, to include the one where he decided to say that me, Daz, and Wolfie worship pedophiles.
I have no idea who Branko Sims is. I have no affiliation with that person. I've already reported that person as uploading all my videos. If you notice, if you go to each of the descriptions, he's removed any link I have to any kind of Patreon or PayPal. So it's not me. And I already removed the video that you guys think I'm saying that you are worshiping pedophiles, but because enough of you said that's what you thought I said, I removed it. I can't do anything about Branko Sims. And I should have done this at the beginning, but let's take a quick time out and just think about something for a second. Look at the screen. Sly thinks that's real. Not really sure we can go any further until somebody can be on at least the equal ground that we can recognize a fraud, a fake, a model when we see it. Let me say it again in case any human beings are watching. You'll know that's you if you're not currently pounding on your keyboard telling me to drink bleach. Again, Sly believes this is real. Okay, believes photos of the Earth are real. Believes that men went to the moon 50 years ago. 200-pound men, maybe an 80-pound backpack plus a suit. So let's say 300 pounds. Multiply that by 17% to get your 1/6 gravity, and you would only weigh 50 pounds, but you would have the muscle mass that you have as an adult here. Meaning we should have seen people running faster. We should have seen people jumping, leaping the lunar rover. All kinds of feats. We saw none. All right, now you get to see the scuba diver. Now keep your eye on the right side where there's that black space, and you'll see this ladder that comes moving into play, that there's actually a scuba diver right behind it, carrying it into place. You can see the astronaut has no chance of maneuvering all that. That it's being swam down now by the scuba diver. And so all you got to do is take a look there down by the arrow, as I tried to point out for you the absolute obvious deception being perpetrated on humanity because a few snowflakes like Sparkane think that they're too smart to be fooled. Well, they have a rude awakening coming quite soon. That is my prediction. You can see here as we change to a different color and adjust the color settings, we get boxes put there for us by NASA because you don't want to see out in space, do you? Or could it be that they're blocking out the obvious scuba diver? Now, in a video of Sly Sparkane's that I just saw today, Sly talks about how nonsense my theory is that they are actually in water. Yes, total nonsense. You see, the astronauts never train without scuba divers. Astronauts now have snorkels because they almost drowned. How about the fact that the Russians found sea plankton on the ISS windows? How about just doing spacewalks and touching the metal that has been blasted by radiative heat from the sun? Would burn right through your gloves or melt them right off your hands. How about the so-called radiation that's coming through the windows, killing all the astronauts? And dare I mention the scientific marvel of engineering that is the space station. I like engineers, I really do, but if you design the ISS, you are horrendous. That lump of cords and brackets and useless outdoor connections, why is it outside? Do we go outside to fix submarines? Do I have to go outside to fix something in my car while it's driving? All right, Jaron, we got to do a car walk. I got to gear up. Got to go get out on this car as I'm going 60 miles per hour. This is real smart. So thank you for joining us as Jaron Campanella is going to be wearing the tan shorts today as he heads outside after a short period in the Plesk decompression chamber. He will be then egressing, and his vehicle will be flying down the Highway 101 in California about 60 statute miles per hour, as he has a fairly tight timeline while communicating back home with Mission Control. He must unscrew a large radiator deradiator while a new one was delivered recently. And so the baloney sunroof door is open, and today's highway walk has officially begun at 10:35 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 11:35 a.m. here in Houston. People, just think. Why would you ever do outside spacewalks? Why? Anyway, I fell way off track there. Back to the scuba team. So the video that Sparkane did said the reason that we know they're in space, and this is awesome, by the way. The evidence, the proof, you're going to love it. This is how we know. When they're in the pool, they have little heads. In space, they have big heads. Boom. In fact, I totally forgot to tell the wife that. Missa!
Yeah.
Hey, so Sky Sparkane totally figured it out. So you know how sometimes they're in the pool, we don't know if they're in space? Well, it's so easy. You just look at their faces. If it's a big head, that means they're in space. And if it's a little shrunken head, it means they're in the pool. Easy.
Wouldn't they just be using different helmets?
I didn't even think of that. Oh, I knew it was too good to be true. All right, back to the drawing board. If only everything were so easy, Sly. You don't think that'd be a nice little deception, huh? Have two different kind of helmets, one for the pool where aquanauts look funny, and then when they go to fake the spacewalk in a pool, they wear different suits and helmets. Brilliant.
Now, jeranism's probably got about 20. I'm just estimating, probably about 20. Maybe it's more like 10. I don't know. Videos, long videos, waiting to see bubbles, and this is all filmed in water and all this other stuff. Dude, it's not even possible. Okay? It's really not even possible to go to that level of detail to cover that up. It's really not. Okay? Because you have the optic.
Oh boy, it's not even possible. That line. I'm too smart to be fooled, you know. I could never be fooled by them faking it in the pool. Let's watch carefully here this golf stunt done by astronauts on the ISS. Okay, we're going to be keeping our eye on the astronaut that's up high right now. He's kind of upside down. In his hand, he's got a golf club. In his left hand, you can see it sticking out there. Let's keep our eye on the golf club and not all the nonsense going on behind him, which is clearly just the blackness of space. Couldn't be anything else. Now, look here. He has a golf club, but you'll see he's trying to grab it, and he dropped it. Dropped the golf club. It's gone now forever. But wait. Magically, the golf club comes back up to him. It's being lifted to him. He hasn't grabbed it yet. It's just magically floating in the air. Magically, even though all the pixel change is back there. And now he's being told, hey, this is the golf. Oh, thank you. Okay, I got the golf club. And he's been given the golf club by a scuba diver. Or, I could be wrong, it may not be in water, but then it's in a sound stage with wires. But it certainly seems a lot more like water. How they're fooling us is not nearly as important as the fact that you're being lied to about spacewalks, about space travel, about planets, about orbits, about gravity, about ball Earths, about a million times bigger than Earth's suns, about galaxies, about relativity, you name it. And if you just keep your eye back there, you can see clearly something's going on back there. But no more obvious an example than when you drop golf clubs and they magically reappear in your hands. That does not happen. According to Sparkane, it's impossible to fake this in a pool. It's not possible to fool him. It would take too much. Can you imagine the amount of paperwork it would take to fake this? A lot of paperwork. All right, let's go one more time here, just for the sake of it. I'm zoomed in a little closer. Here you go. You see he's holding the club, and then now he's trying to grab it, and oops, I dropped it. There it goes, but magically it rises back up. Thank you, scuba divers. It's impossible to fake in space. That's why they practice in a pool,
So look in the background here. As something gets further away, it changes color, and no bit of lighting is going to do anything for that. Okay, it has to do with the fact that you have water between point A and point B. Okay, there are no bubbles in space. Okay, and if you turn around and you answer that everything is CGI, then why would the said bubbles be there in the first place? Okay, it's just that simple. Okay, so jeranism. This is for my son here. Jeranism. These the spacewalks aren't faked, and you know that.
What is that supposed to mean? Spacewalks aren't fake, and you know that. That's implying that I think spacewalks are real. What you just saw right now, and I'll show it again, was a paper cutout in the middle of a window. And then the next scene is them supposedly showing some sort of eclipsed moon, when clearly we just saw how they set it up. The sad thing is that spacewalks are all completely fabricated, and you can't see that. That's the difference. You don't want to see it. You love space too much to clearly watch what's being shown. It's as clear as could be. Let's watch it one more time here. So what you can see there is clearly the window on the side is covered up with a circular object. It's supposed to be either the moon or the Earth. I'm assuming the moon, because now it's a little bit dark in there, and then they're going to come out of this little break with a eclipse for everyone. There you go. What are they showing you? They're showing you what they just were setting up. A circular object in the window, Apollo 15, never happened. Nobody's been to the moon. Space travel isn't real. And you know this. All right, enough's enough. I can't take it anymore. I had a whole bunch of other examples of Sparkane and Shawn stuff blurred talking nonsense, but at this point, I can't take it anymore. This last little piece is talking about the challenge I put out about star trails and aiming your camera at Polaris, in which Wolfie showed me the correct way to do it, and then I found out that my globe slips down the axis as it spins. Now, these guys claim that that's impossible, that all globes spin and can't be taken offline. And they also claim, as you'll hear right now, that I misaligned my globe on purpose. Think about this for a second. This is a claim that they've made, that I've done it on purpose. What sense would that make? So I thought I would set up my globe, misaligned it on purpose, then show everybody that star trails couldn't be done, then put out a challenge to people to actually do it, saying, I bet you can't do it, knowing that I had purposefully done mine incorrectly, thinking that I guess no one else would even try, and then we would all celebrate and run through the streets when flat Earth became the truth, and everybody believed in the flat Earth because of my faked experiment that I purposefully misaligned. Does that make any sense to anyone? No, didn't think so. But obviously it makes sense to these two clowns.
The string was actually off to the side. Okay, he deliberately did that wrong so that it wouldn't line up.
Right.
Deliberately. There is no other way to say that. He deliberately did that because anybody, and I analyzed it just from his footage with PowerPoint. Okay. And so there's nothing more to say on that. So you lied about your Polaris experiment, Jaron, and you know it. Okay? You know you did. You can blame it on whatever you want. Oh, my globe shifts and stuff like that, and I threw that globe away. No, your globe doesn't shift. If it's on an axle, it's just going to rotate. That's all it's going to do. So deal with that.
Yeah, well, honestly, I can't take any more. I mean, I know a few things, and that's 1, you lie. 2, you're an idiot. 3, you lie. And 4, you lie. And 5, you lie a lot. But I don't have all day to go through each and every one of your lies because honestly, you're lying every other word. None of it's true. It's all nonsense. You just make things up. Like I purposefully get experiments wrong so that when I'm shown I'm wrong, I don't even know what any of what you're saying could possibly make sense. It just simply doesn't. Yeah, I lied about my globe shifting because that makes a lot of sense too. Let me set up this experiment. I'll set it up wrong, and then when they call me on it, I'll say it's because the globe shifted. And then what? I'm still wrong. So what good does that do? None. So that'll be the last time I spend any time on Lie Sparkane. Now you know why I don't show up to your invitations. And now you know why I want nothing to do with Shawn Stuff Blurred. That guy cannot get anything right, ever. Can't imagine a more despicable liar in the world, ever. I mean, this is the same guy who said I'm a shill because I said my name when I was thanking people at the end of my videos because I forgot to take my name out of the script. And then when he got shown that my co-host Bob has a son named Jaron, and that's who I was thanking at the end of the video, he then changed it to, oh, I was actually just doing that to get a rise out of Jaron because I was trying to show him that he shouldn't accuse people of being shills because that's what happens. Some nonsense. The guy is out of his mind and a liar. And now everybody knows it. So, moral of the story and the whole point of this video is when you hear clowns make statements about me, all I ask is that you ask them to provide evidence for their claim. So if they say I said something, or they say I showed something, or I did something, ask for evidence. Don't just take it, or else at the end of one of their videos you're going to think that I stole $25,000, that I sold things on eBay and pocketed the money, that I faked experiments so that I could be wrong and show people I was wrong. All the nonsense that they say, as if it's facts, you're going to think that I took my 3-pole experiment and reduced it to 2, which wouldn't even make sense. But according to these guys, you just put my name in a sentence and just tell some lie about me, and that's all you got to do. Because there's no repercussions, because all their fans will keep watching them no matter what. Because they're used to it. They love being lied to. They get lied to every day, and they don't care. Sorry, that's not for me. I prefer the truth, even if it's not what makes me feel warm and cozy inside. So be kind to each other. Don't lie. I don't know how many times I have to say that to get it through. Shawn said, Shawn, do you hear me? Shawn Stuff Blurred. Don't lie. Don't be a scumbag. Till next time, this has been jeranism. Peace.